Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Alright, hello guys. So today we're going to talk about X-Men Origins Wolverine. The best shit film ever. Jokes. I mean, it's one of the worst X-Men films. In the past I've said it's like my second least favourite X-Men film, because The Last Stand will always be the worst, but this one, it's still not doing any favours really. It's still a pretty bad film. I mean, there's some good moments, especially at the beginning, but overall the film's just shit. Yeah. I mean, you got the beginning, like, showing Wolverine, like, when he was a kid and stuff, with his brother, Victor. Was his original name James? Jimmy? Yeah. And then he ends up being called Logan. Yeah. Basically, I think Victor's family makes it look like they kill his father, but then he actually kills his real father. It's just at the beginning, it's just so cringe, and the kid's acting, it's just when he goes, "Aah!" Like, it's too much, man. And then they just run away together and stuff because they hate the family. Then it goes through time, like all the world wars and stuff. Like, imagine if they actually made this a whole film instead of what we actually got, which is disappointing. But worse than that, shit. Like, just seeing them fighting all the wars. That would have made an awesome film. Hell, even what this other thing they could have did instead, when Stryker comes and takes them, since they end up being locked up after all the things they've done. They end up in the X-Force, basically. Stryker's little team. And they kind of introduce Ryan Reynolds, you know, who eventually plays as Deadpool. I mean, he's basically Deadpool in this, but he's not fully Deadpool in this. Because if you know what happens in this film with Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, in, like, it's the first time he gets to be Deadpool, it's really bad. Yeah, it's only his first scene that is pretty cool. Him just taking a piss out of the whole team, and everyone just saying to shut up. Like, he definitely nails how Deadpool should be, but when he actually comes to actually betraying Deadpool and like the way how he looks and stuff, they completely fail with what they do to him. Yeah, which is later on in the movie, but yeah, just seeing the X-Force, pretty cool team. You got Will.i.am for no reason. You got the guy from Lost and Lord of the Rings. You got this guy who's basically John Wick. You got Victor himself, Sabretooth, and then, you know, Wolverine. Just an awesome team. Them just going into this place to find out, you know, where this person got some adamantium, because it's the first time they get introduced to it, I guess. And yeah, just flipping Ryan Reynolds taking the piss. Then he ends up taking out some people, and then it goes like, okay, people are dead. Then they end up taking this whole flipping village hostage when they get the information from the guy. And it's just cool how all of them use their powers, like when they're introducing them and stuff. Yeah. And then it just gets to a point where if he basically doesn't reveal where he got the metal from, he'll basically kill the whole village, and Wolverine doesn't really want to be a part of this, so he decides to walk away, even though he made a promise to his brother that they'll always be together. But he just had enough of, you know, Victor just being an animal and just killing people. Wolverine wanted to be better than that. He wanted a better life, so he decided to leave. Yeah, which I guess for a while he does have a better life, like 5-6 years, I guess, after he leaves the team. I guess he finds a woman, be's happy with her. Yeah, and I guess Wolverine gets his name from some Kukukachu's dumbass story. Like, like if you watch Chris Thomas review, like, he proper takes the piss. Yeah, the story, like the way how he gets his name as the Wolverine, it's just so cringe. Yeah. And he kind of works as a lumberjack in his free time, I guess, to make some little money. And then Victor later on ends up killing his X Factor team, X Force team, whatever the hell I should call it. Going after the most useless one first. Yeah, he just takes care of him like it's nothing. Should have used him a bit more, man. It just sucks when they kind of waste him. Like his talent, like he could have did a lot of the film, but nope, just kill him. Yeah, and it just kind of shows straight away that they ever could have focused, like, you know, Wolverine and Victor going through the wars together while also developing their relationship. Like they could have just showed that Victor becomes more and more of an animal to the point where you get to X-Men 1 and he's just a full animal at that point where, you know, Wolverine's more like trying to be more normal and have a family, and just you'd basically see that transition from this film, and also the experiment stuff which they kind of teased in X2 and stuff. Yeah, and I guess Wolverine's having visions of all the bad things he's done. Then when he's at work again, that's when the X-Force tried to recruit him, but then they also say that Victor's going around killing the old team and stuff. Yeah. And that he could be coming after him, which I guess he goes after his girlfriend, even though we'll get to the point of what that actually is about. Yeah, I think it's again like a little fight, I guess, but I guess she has the power to control people and stops him from, I guess, hurting Wolverine, even though Wolverine would probably kill him. Yeah. But yeah, I hate their relationship, it's just cringe. Yeah. But then it looks like Victor's found her, and I guess Wolverine realizes what's happening, then sees her dead, and now he just wants revenge on Victor. We have like this cool bar fight with Victor and Wolverine, because Wolverine is just so pissed at this point. He tried to have a normal life, but his brother ruined it. So he tries to kill him, but it doesn't really work out, because at this point, he doesn't really have the adamantium claws, he only has his bone claws, yeah. Because originally he just had bone claws, but then they did an experiment on him to give him like adamantium claws. Yeah. And then the other thing I also hate when they actually get to the point where they're going to experiment on him, flipping Wolverine actually wants to do it. Like adding it to the point where he's actually willingly want to do it, it's kind of dumb. Like, you'd think like they would just like maybe take him by force, or they could have just wiped where Victor defeats him, and then he ends up in like a flipping chair tied to it, and then they just experiment on him, and they plan to use him for like a weapon to do whatever they want, like control him. But then he breaks out, and you could have just still got the same story, but nope. They make Wolverine willingly want to flipping join. It's just so dumb. Like, why would you write like that? But they still was going to screw him over it anyway. They was going to try and control him. But, you know, Wolverine, you know, he breaks out after the experiment's done. Yeah. I guess it was pretty painful. Like, the most painful experiences I've been through. Other than something like that will happen later on. But yeah, he ends up basically escaping. They tried to stop him, but they can't handle Wolverine, especially with the adamantium claws. Yeah. So then he ends up hiding like at some farm, which I guess these old people end up finding him. They seem like nice people who decide to help him out, even though like he's in such an awkward position. Yeah. Then you got the flipping claws. Like, people love to complain about the CGI on the claws. I don't think they're awful compared to some of the stuff I've seen from modern Marvel. Like, nothing will ever be worse than flipping that third eye of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's like the worst CGI I've seen in a flipping big budget comic book film. Oh, how could they actually release the film with that bad of a CGI, and then there's like Fall Love and Thunder with the flipping kid? Oh, so to me, that's a lot worse compared to this. Yeah, it's not perfect, but at least it's not flipping that bad. Like modern MCU bad CGI. Like, Jesus. So yeah, I have no problem with the CGI. But yeah, it seems like he's found the place where he can be happy for now, until, you know, they end up flipping attacking and killing the family that help him. Yeah, because they kind of treat him like a son, but then, and they do everything they can. Like, they literally give their son's clothes and car to him, but then, you know, they just, well, bike, sorry. But yeah, they just come and flipping kill the family, blaming it on Wolverine, I guess. That was their plan. But then Wolverine, you know, goes to get some payback after what they did. And he basically takes on the John Wick guy. The one who can basically like shoot like a flipping god, do insane backflips. Like, it's just the wire work in this film is also retarded. Oh my god. Like, whoever did the wire work, they just don't know how wire work works. It's just, it looks so dumb and unrealistic. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be realistic, but more believable, because some of the backflips they were doing just made no sense. Yeah. But yeah, it basically ends up like defeating the John Wick guy and destroying the helicopter that he's in, you know, basically killing him. Yeah. And he just walks away in the cliche, you know, don't look at explosions, action scene. Like, this was such a cliche back in the day. Like, everything did this. Like, from Bad Boys to just everything that was coming out in the late 2000s and 2010s. Like, everything had to do this. Just, so cliche. Then the show flipping Scott in high school. Like, just some unnecessary shit we didn't even need to see. Because it's not like it's his film. And he's not going to get much screen time. So, it's kind of pointless. And I guess Victor goes after him. And then, I guess Wolverine goes to like William's character to get some assistance. He basically has powers like Nightcrawler, yeah, whatever, and goes to see basically Blob, and I guess he doesn't like being called Blob, even though Wolverine says Bub to him, and he's like, "Did you just call me Blob?" Like that cringe shit, like, yeah, because I guess he was a bit skinnier when he used to be in the X-Force, but after everything they ended up doing, all the people they killed, I guess he gained weight from depression or whatever, and now it just looks fat, and his character goes nowhere. He just gets like, they just basically use him for like information and a punching bag. And man, I just feel like they just took the piss out of fat people back then. Like in everything, in like at this time, they just love to take the piss out of fat people. Like, that was terrible. Yeah. And then Wolverine basically defeats him and gets the information, whatever. Cringe scene. Man, how to do Blob in this, it's just cringe. Big, he gets the information he needs, and then at least he knows where to find Stryker. And then he ends up meeting Gambit too, to get some help from him too, because he has the rest of the information. But I guess he kind of views Wolverine as a threat, because he probably thinks like he's working with Stryker. So they end up having a big fight, and then Victor comes, kills Will.i.am's character. I guess Victor's plan is to maybe get the adamantium that Wolverine has, and that's why he's going around killing his old teammates. Yeah, so it can be like Wolverine. And another thing that will be revealed later on. Yep. But yeah, it seems like Wolverine could have completely killed him in this fight though, the second fight, because he had the adamantium claws. So, by default, you know, Sabretooth is weaker. But then Gambit gets in the way because he still thinks Wolverine's a threat. Yeah. Gambit in this was meh. He wasn't bad, he was just meh. Oh yeah, that's his son, right? From X2. Basically, iced him and stuff. I mean, he ends up doing a lot worse than that, but yeah. And then, because of some of the stuff that happened to Stryker, you know, with his wife and son, like the person who's giving him the tools ends up, you know, kind of cutting him out, so he decides to kill the Colonel so he can continue his operation. Yeah, because he just wants to exterminate all mutants. And I guess Wolverine, makes it. Thanks to the help of Gambit, I think. And finds out what they've been doing. And then they also revealed that, you know, his girlfriend's alive and was playing him the whole time. Even though she ended up actually having a relationship with her, and she actually, you know, cared about him in the end. Because, you know, that kind of cliche story where, oh man, I'm playing this person, but then I end up actually caring about them, so I hope they don't find out, but then, you know, they kind of have to for a certain plan to go a certain way. But yeah, basically she was doing it because her sister was held hostage by Stryker, but then she also ended up loving Wolverine. Yeah. Which I guess her sister's oh man, which character is it again? The one who can turn into Diamond. Yeah, that character. Even though it doesn't really make sense because we also have that character in First Class and she's way older. But yeah. And yeah, Victor gets pissed because he, like, Stryker, after everything, says he can't really go through the operation because he won't survive. Because, you know, Wolverine, he has the healing factor, while Victor doesn't. He'll just die. So he kind of gets pissed by what she's saying, and then he kills her. But then Wolverine, since he did love her, decides to save her and fucks up Victor. But then, like, the secret weapons gets revealed. Yeah. Deadpool, but a shit version. But before that, like, Wolverine frees all the mutants that are locked away, because Cyclops got locked away here after Victor kidnapped him. Even though Victor just wanted to kill him. But it was Stryker who said not to, because he wants to do something with the mutants, like take some of their power to put it in Deadpool. Yeah. So then this is when he ends up fighting Deadpool. Yeah. The fake Deadpool. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. But I don't even know if it's the same character. It must not be though. I mean, they've got similar powers, but yeah, might be a different character. And then the final fight, which, you know, Victor and Wolverine team up to fight. And then you get some dumbass line like, nobody kills you but me, from Victor. So they end up working together to fight him. Because Wolverine can't take him on by himself, so they just work together to defeat him. Yeah. Or you get some bullshit Dragon Ball stuff with flipping Wolverine blocking the Cyclops type of attack from Deadpool. It's just some of the dumb shit we get in this ending scene. It's such a dumb final fight. But yeah, Wolverine ends up decapitating him, Mortal Kombat style, and his head just falls down while lasering the whole thing, and they have to try and jump off. And then I guess Cyclops is the one who's kind of leading them somehow, even though he can't see. And she's just like, how the fuck can you see? And then Stryker's getting ready to load the bullet that will change everything for Wolverine. Yeah. Basically, he'll forget everything. I mean, it won't kill him, even though it's an adamantium bullet, but it'll make him forget, like, everything that he went through, and which is why he's just completely clueless by the time you get to X-Men 1. Yeah. And yeah, the dialogue here, it seems like it was going to set up like they could eventually have a rematch in the future, and I guess the only thing we got was in X-Men 1, but that wasn't even the same actor and the same type of flipping you know, Sabretooth. I kind of preferred the Sabretooth better. I feel like they had a better beef and stuff, where in the Sabretooth in the first film was just a full animal. And I feel like they could have did something even better in the final film, Logan. Like, he should have been in that film, since it was a Wolverine's final film. That was a missed opportunity not to bring him back, man. I mean, they basically had someone who was Wolverine's rival in the film, who could have been Sabretooth, but it was just some clone of Wolverine. Yeah. But yeah, after this is when I think it's Gambit who helps him escape, I guess. Yeah. And he tells Gambit to, like, help the other X-Men. Well, they're not X-Men yet, but they become X-Men, because Charles ends up finding them. Yeah. He ends up rescuing them. And then she ends up dying because Stryker kills her, I guess. Yeah. Whatever. But then Wolverine goes to get the final blow on him. But then Stryker shoots him in the head with the bullet several times. Yep. And then she's able to control Stryker before she dies. And in this moment, she literally could have prevented X-Men 2. Like, she literally could have just made him shoot himself in the head, but no. Walk until your flipping your feet bleed and just keep walking. That's not really going to kill him. It's going to make him hurt a lot, but, you know, he's still going to be alive to do bad things and take out your kind. And you still have a sister, right? Yeah? I mean, she'd be in danger if you don't kill this guy right now. I mean, who knows what happens to her sister? And she decides to not kill him. Oh, you should have killed him in literally this moment. It would stop X-Men 2 from happening. And who knows what happens to your sister for not killing him? Because he keeps doing what he does. Yeah. And then Charles with bad CGI ends up helping them. Like, this CGI is probably the worst in the film. Yeah. And then I guess Wolverine wakes up with the bullet still in his head, but it heals and comes out. He has no idea who the hell he is and what's going on, and doesn't recognize Gambit. And then he tries to fight him, but then Gambit helps him escape, I guess, and sees the woman that he loved, but doesn't really remember her. So then they just basically move on. They just leave, and the movie just basically ends. And then they kind of tease Deadpool still being alive, I guess, at the end, if I can show it. Yeah, here. Is this scene, showing that Deadpool's still alive, and we don't get to see the true Deadpool until later on. Though this end credit scene doesn't really matter after Days of Future Past, if you know what I mean, since we basically get a new Deadpool, a more accurate Deadpool, even though they kind of make reference to this Deadpool in like Deadpool 2, but yeah. This movie was just shit. Yeah. It could have been so much better. Like, they literally had some of the great potential in the film, but they decided to skip it for dog shit. It's just sad. But at least the next film's way better. It just sucks that the third act of the next film kind of sucks like this, but the first and second act is just perfect, and then we get a truly perfect film, Logan, the best X-Men film for a lot of people. It's like my third favourite. I mean, when it comes to solo films for like a superhero, it's possibly the best. I mean, there's flipping Captain America, Winter Soldier and stuff, but man, like, I'd say it's top 2 or 3. Logan. This film is like one of the shittest comic book movies ever. It's shit, and it's just hit that it had potential to be really good, but they decided to skip it. It's just dumb. But yeah, that's all I got to say about this shit film. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. At least the rest of the films are good. Well, there's some average ones, but they're not shit like X-Men 3 and X-Men Origins Wolverine, even though some people hate Dark Phoenix, but I don't hate it. It's average. But it's not awful. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the review. Appreciate you can leave a like. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.